Hello, my name is Jorge Toro and I'm the president and founder of Medinexo. I'm here to present to you, under our Research Nexo program, the Centers of Excellence for Clinical Trials, how to adapt your facility for clinical trials. So, first of all, let's talk about the fact that the standards for the National Institute of Health of the United States require that you provide a clean, secure, and designed for the purpose of clinical trial site. So it's for the safety of the participants, for the safety of your team, and for privacy and confidentiality. These requirements have become a standard worldwide, so I advise that you take a look deeper into the requirements for your site. So first of all, we're going to talk about overall requirements, then additional locations, and perhaps adjunct and alternative venues. It's only going to take us about 7 to 10 minutes max, and I would recommend that you take the time to look at this and compare it to your site and see what we have to do to move you forward from there. So first of all, overall requirements include that you provide a hazard-free entrance area and, if possible, handicap accessibility, that your reception area enables you to register a participant for a trial, and that staff is there to greet the patient or the participant at the door. Private settings are important for informed consent discussions and counseling. Adequately equipped examination rooms are also necessary, and keep in mind that all these requirements are also based on the type of trials that you are intending to conduct. So the requirements vary depending on that, but you have to follow these type of standards. Participation on treatment, participant treatment area and post-treatment observation areas are important, also to have separate room for both types of actions. Infection control equipment should be managed in separate areas, and you should have a rest area for participants to relax if they have certain type of procedures that require that. It's important that you have, again, facilities that are used or shared or dedicated, but ultimately specific to the application of some interventions like injections or infusions, right? Also, it's very important that you have synchronized clocks. If you're not conducting electronic data capture, you're conducting manual capture, then more important that your clocks are synchronized across the facility so that you don't misrecord times. Access to facility equipment, laboratories, and all this have to be provided, and the facility has to have power backup systems to ensure continuity of electricity, internet connection, and all the facilities, so that your trials are not disrupted and a patient is not disrupted in the middle of a trial event. So adequate space for monitoring visits, data management areas, office workspace, record storage room, and emergency facilities. You have to be equipped with the ability to deal with emergencies, and this is important. So these are the overall requirements. We can go into a lot more detail if you need to at a later time or during our Research Nexo workshops that are coming up. When it comes to having additional locations, you could have an extension of your site in a medical school or a hospital, community center, or a place where patients can come and meet you, or you can extend them. We're actually working with initiatives with pharmacies to include pharmacies as part of the mix, and all these facilities have to be treated like an extension of your clinical research site. They have to be treated with the same standards, and you have to be able to treat them as part of the CSR, not as a standalone manner. Also, in alternative and adjunct venues, you could have actually outdoor spaces where you conduct specific activities. You have you can have mobile units where you go meet the patients in places that are more remote, and we'll talk a little bit about more of that. But you must consider for these adjunct and alternative venues the participant safety and confidentiality, the research staff safety, and also study product integrity, including cold chain. So if you're handling products, these products have to be treated with the same conditions as if you were at a central location. And that includes biospecimen handling. The integrity of this and the chain of custody is important to keep at the level of standard that you need, even if you're in a mobile facility. And of course, data confidentiality and integrity remain with the same standards. So let's recap. So adapting your facility for clinical research involves that you take the overall requirements that are the standards of the NIH and the standards of international clinical trial industry, and you make sure that you are compliant to those standards for the patients, for the staff, and for data capture. The additional locations and alternative venues need to be treated as extensions of your site, and they should follow the same standards. Now, what is next in clinical trials? Okay, so you're setting up your facility for clinical trials, and you have been successful at doing this. You have to start considering the next level, and the next level is, of course, decentralized clinical trials and the ability to conduct trials in virtual sites or using virtual sites. Remember, telemedicine is here to stay. The ability to connect with a patient or a participant in your trial at their home is also something that's here and is here to stay. So you have to start thinking about the way to connect all this to your site, and so that your site becomes a facility that can also operate decentralized and can also operate in this virtual site, reaching the patients or the participants where they are, where they need to be, because that is what we think is the future. That's what Medinexo is about, getting healthcare to where you are, where the patient is. This is my presentation about Centers of Excellence for Clinical Trials. I would recommend that if you're interested in getting active in clinical trials and you need some guidance, you need some help, or you need all the tools and the training that you can have with no cost, because we eliminate the cost of entry, join medinexo.com and participate in our Research Nexo program. Thank you so much and have a great day.